And now, Andrew Does Everything proudly presents Cinderella, based on the story of Cinderella. Once upon a time, there lived a young girl named Cinderella. Cinderella had 3 ugly, mean stepsisters named Olive, Nina, and Esme. Olive, Nina, and Esme made Cinderella do all the chores. "Sweep the floors, wash the dishes," said Olive, Nina, and Esme. One day, the king of Onlyville's messenger said, hear ye, the king of Onlyville is going to throw a ball. And whoever has the most beautiful gown and crown shall marry his son, Prince Singling. But Cinderella is not welcome. Her stepsisters are. Olive said, he's going to marry me. Nina said, no way, Olive. He's going to marry me. Esme said, both of you are wrong. He's going to marry me. Later, Cinderella is so sad that she cannot go to the ball and marry Prince Singling. Suddenly, her fairy godmother arrives and asks Cinderella what is wrong. Why are you crying, Cinderella? She asks. Cinderella responds, I wanted her to go to the ball and marry Prince Singling, but I'm not welcome. The fairy godmother waved her wand and chanted the magic word, Winnity, Waterity, one! And then, Cinderella's chores are all done. But the fairy godmother is not done yet. She said, Cinderella, go fetch me a good old pumpkin. Luckily, Cinderella has one pumpkin. The fairy godmother waved her magic wand and chanted the magic word, Winnity, Waterity, one! Again, and to turn Cinderella's do-rag and clothes into a gown. I've never seen such a wonderful gown. I get a load of my glass slippers, and then the pumpkin into a carriage drawn by 2 strong horses. The fairy godmother said, have fun, Cinderella, but I will warn you, return home before midnight, or the spell will be broken. Cinderella accepted the warning. Meanwhile, at the ball, Prince Singling was wondering who he should marry. Olive, Nina, and Esme said all together, he's walking towards me. But he's not walking towards any of them. He's walking towards Cinderella. Cinderella and Prince Singling dance happily together. But later, Cinderella realized it's almost midnight. So she scurried out of the ball, and she was running so fast that she lost one of her glass slippers. Prince Singling was so worried that he might never see Cinderella again. So he traveled around Onlyville to find her and brought the glass slipper with him. He knocked on the door of the house where her Cinderella and her stepsisters lived. He said, ladies, I have a favor to ask. Can any of you try this glass slipper? Olive is first, but her foot is too big. Nina is next, but her foot is too small. Esme is last, but her foot didn't fit either. Suddenly, Prince Singling noticed Cinderella singing. Cinderella said. Prince Singling, is that you? Prince Singling said, of course it's me. Cinderella gets so excited because she's having to have her Prince Singling back. And they lived happily ever after. The end. I hope you enjoyed this story before bed enters doors. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and share to my video. Take care. Bye and good night, everybody. And now, Introduce Everything proudly presents 49erella. It is based on the story of Cinderella with a bit of a twist. Let's tell you the story, shall we? Once upon a time, there was a young adult girl named 49erella. 49erella had 9 ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters named Farah, Olivia, Ramona, Tanya, Yvonne, Nina, Isabella, Natalia, and Ella. All 9 of them constantly made fun of 49erella and made her do all the chores. 49er wench, sweep the floors, wash the dishes, do it all, said them all together. One day, the king of 49ville's messenger arrives and says, Hear ye, hear ye! The king of 49ville is going to throw a ball, and whoever has the most beautiful gown and crown shall marry his son, Prince Non-Quadragentupling. But 49erella is not welcome. Her ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters are. They are overjoyed. They ran with huge excitement and picked out dresses to wear to the ball, but argue over who will Prince Non-Quadragentupling marry. Later, 49erella is so sad doing chores about not going to the ball and marrying Prince Non-Quadragentupling. Whatever will I do? She went first. Suddenly, her fairy godmother arrives and comforts 49erella. There, no, 49erella. I can help with a bit of magic. Nobody will know it's you, she said. She then waves her magic wand. And because of that, 49erella's chores are all done. But her fairy godmother is not done yet. She said, 49erella, go fetch me a pumpkin and some mice. Luckily, 49erella has 49 pumpkins and 98 mice. 49erella's fairy godmother waves her magic wand again to turn the 49 pumpkins into a handsome coach, the 98 mice into horses, and the 49erellas brick clothes into a gown and crown. 49erella says, I've never seen such a Non-Quadragentupling-tastic gown! And get a load of my glass slippers. Fairy godmother, how can I ever thank you enough? And climbs into the coach. 49erella's fairy godmother says, well, you can't, but have fun, 49erella, but I will warn you. Return home before midnight, or the spell will be broken, and everything will go back to normal. And so, 49erella accepted the warning. Meanwhile, at the ball, Prince Non-Quadragentupling was wondering who he should marry. Wondering who to marry, son? Asked the wise, kind-hearted, and bold King 49ville. To which Prince Non-Quadragentupling responds, yes, father. You're going to marry me, Prince Non-Quadragentupling, said Farah, the oldest of 49erella's ugly, mean, wicked stepsister. Farah, wrong. You're Prince Non-Quadragentupling. You're going to marry me, said Olivia. Both of you are wrong. Prince Non-Quadragentupling, you're going to marry me, said Ramona. The rest say, you're going to marry me, Prince Non-Quadragentupling. But Prince Non-Quadragentupling angrily denies the request. Suddenly, 49erella arrives at the ball just in time. Prince Not a Quadrigen Toppling sees her, walks straight towards her, and says, "You must be 49erella. May I please have this dance?" To which 49erella responds, "Yes, I would be happy to." And so, 49erella and Prince Not a Quadrigen Toppling dance happily together. But later, 49erella realized it's almost midnight, so she scurried out of the ball. And she ran so fast that she left one of her glass slippers behind. Prince Not a Quadrigen Toppling was really worried that he might never see her again. The king of 49ville comforts him by saying, There, now, son. I think we'll be able to find 49erella." And so, the next day, Prince Not a Quadrigen Toppling and the king of 49ville traveled all around 49ville and tried to find 49erella, who captured Prince Not a Quadrigen Toppling's heart and brought the glass slipper she lost with them. By the time they arrived, they knocked on the door of the home where 49erella and her ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters lived. But instead of 49erella, they find Farah, Olivia, Ramona, Tanya, Yvonne, Nina, Isabella, Natalia, and Ella. Prince Not a Quadrigen Toppling then says, "Ladies, my father and I have a favor to ask. Can any of you try on these glass slippers? Farah is first, but her foot is too big. Olivia's next, but her foot is too small." "Nonsense! It fits!" she said. The rest did the same, but none of their feet are the right size. Suddenly, Prince Not a Quadrigen Toppling and the king of 49ville noticed 49erella's sweet singing. "Prince Not a Quadrigen Toppling and the king of 49ville, your majesty, is that you guys?" she hollered excitedly, to which the king of 49ville says, "49erella, my dear daughter-in-law, we found you. Will you marry Prince Not a Quadrigen Toppling?" 49erella and Prince Not a Quadrigen Toppling are now married. They, along with the king of 49ville, lived happily ever after. The end. I hope you enjoyed this story, Andrew Stewards. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share on Andrew Does Everything, and buy our merchandise at AndrewDoesEverything.com. And take care. Bye. And now, Andrew Does Everything proudly presents 361erella. It is based on the story of Cinderella with a plot twist. Let's tell you the story, shall we? Once upon a time, there was a young adult girl named 361erella. 361erella had 20 ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters named Tasha, Hannah, Rena, Ella, Emma, Huerta, Uma, Nina, Dahlia, Ramona, Estrella, Delfina, Skyla, Isabella, Alexandra, Tiana, Yadina, Olivia, Natalia, and Aliana. All 20 of them constantly made fun of 360erella and made her do all the chores. 361, wench! Sweep the floors, wash the dishes and windows. Do it all! Said the 20 ugly, mean, and wicked stepsisters all together. One day, the king of Sexaginta, Trace and Toppingham's messenger arrives and says, Hear ye, the king of Sexaginta, Trace and Toppingham's, his royal majesty is going to throw a ball. And whoever has the most beautiful gown and crown shall marry his son, Prince Sexagin, Trace and Toppling. Can I come? Asks 361erella, but she's not welcome. her ugly, mean, and wicked stepsisters are the Tasha, Hannah, Rena, Ella, Emma, Huerta, Uma, Nina, Dahlia, Ramona, Estrella, Navina, Skyla, Isabella, Alexandra, Tiana, Yadina, Olivia, Natalie, and Eliana are overjoyed. They ran with huge excitement and picked out dresses to wear to the ball, but argue over who will Prince Unsetter, Trace, and Toppling fall in love with. Later, 361 Arella is so sad. Doing chores about not going to the ball and marrying Prince Unsetter, Trace, and Toppling. Whatever will I do? She whimpered suddenly. Her fairy godmother arrives and comforts 361 Arella. There, now, my dear 361 Arella. I'll fix everything for you, so nobody will know it's you, said 361 Arella's fairy godmother. She then waves her magic wand. Because of that, 361 Arella's chores are all done. But her fairy godmother says, I'm not done yet. 361 Arella, go fetch me a pumpkin and some mice. Luckily, 361 Arella has 361 pumpkins and 722 mice. 361 Arella's fairy godmother waves her magic wand again to turn the 361 pumpkins into a handsome coach, the 722 mice into horses, 361 Arella's attire then becomes a princess's attire. And then a pair of glass slippers appear on her feet. 361 Arella said, I've never seen such a 360 wonderful gown. And get a load of I love my glass slippers, fairy godmother. How can I ever thank you enough? And climbs into the coach. 361 Arella's fairy godmother says, well, 361 Arella, you can't but have fun. But I would warn you to return home before midnight, or the spell will be broken, and everything will change back to the way it was before. And so, 361 accepted the warning. At the ball, the king of Unsexa Gin said Tumblingham asks, wonder who to marry, Prince Unsexa Gin Trace Toppling? In which Prince Unsexa Gin Trace Toppling responds, yes, father. 361 Arella arrives at the ball just in time. Prince Unsexa Gin Trace Toppling sees her straight towards her, walks straight towards her and says, you must be 361 Arella. May I please at this dance? Yes! Said 361 Arella overjoyed, and she alongside Prince Unsexa Gin Trace Toppling dance happily together. They sing 361 times you and me as they dance. Come on, 361 Arella, let's dance together. We'll be best friends forever. Who else could it be like you and me? Come on, my prince, let's dance together. We'll be best friends forever. Who else could it be but you and me? Halfway into the song, Tasha, Hannah, Rena, Ella, Emma, Huerta, Unsa, Uma, Nina, Dahlia, Ramona, Estrella, Daphne, Skyla, Isabella, Alexandra, Tiana, Yadina, 11, Nina, watching the jealousy as they wanted Prince Unsetter to along with them. They shout all together. But at the end of the song, 361 Arella checks her clock and it's almost midnight. So she scurried out of the ball and she ran so fast that she lost one of her glass slippers. The next day, the king of Unsexa Gin Trace Toppling and Prince Unsexa Gin Trace Toppling traveled all around the neighborhood trying to find 361 Arella who captured Prince und Sexagin traced Tumbling's heart and brought the glass that she lost with them. By the time they arrive, Prince und Sexagin traced Tumbling knocks on the door of the house where 361 Cinderella and her 10 ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters lived. But instead of 361 Cinderella, they find her ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters themselves. Prince und Sessa Ginger Trace and Tumbling then says, "Ladies, my father, the king of Unsexa Trace and Tumblingham, and I have a favor to ask. Can any try on this glass slipper? Tasha is first, but her foot is too big. Hannah is next, but her foot is too small." "Nonsense! It fits!" she said. The rest did the same thing, but their feet don't fit either. Just then, 361 arrives. She looks rather familiar and tries the glass slipper on and it fits. Because of that, she transforms back into a princess. 361 around, my dear, it's you, my dear daughter-in-law. Will you marry my son, Prince Unsexa Trace and Tumbling? Yes, said she said, overjoyed, and they all lived happily ever after. The end. I hope you enjoyed this story, Doers. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and everything, and buy our merchandise at nerdeseverything.com. Take care. Bye.